What's good, my people? In this one I'll be discussing why I believe The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is better than, yes, I said it, better than The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't say it, homie. Alright guys, let's waste no more time and get into it. So I made a top 10 Zelda games video way back and I placed Breath of the Wild at number 1, with Ocarina coming in a closest possible second. From then on, I knew those two games were my favorite, but didn't quite know which I enjoyed more. 7 months later, and now it's time to finally reevaluate. It's been 9 months since Breath dropped, which is crazy, man. I knew the game had to sit with me for quite some time before I can rightfully judge it. Not to mention I have over 400 hours in the game. So let's begin with the great debate of Breath of the Wild's story. A lot of people dislike the storytelling of Breath, but honestly I think it's done quite well. Discovering memories kept me literally standing up while playing. Great way to present the story, but I do feel it lacked in length. Adding more in-depth memories could have potentially solved this issue, which hey, might happen in the winter DLC, babe. The ending fits the game's plot well, but left me wanting just a little more. Don't get me wrong, Phase 1 of the Calamity Ganon fight was super badass, but Phase 2, as we all know, wasn't too climactic. Other than the music in Phase 2, that was indeed epic. So now the story of Ocarina of Time. In my belief, it's the best story in the franchise. It doesn't just have near to perfect pacing, but also a tale that sends ripple effects throughout the entire timeline. Come on, homie, that's the pinnacle of the timeline. Comparing Ocarina's ending to Breath of the Wild's, I easily favor the epic climb up the red circling staircase to finally meet with Ganondorf 7 long years later, to find he was playing the castle theme all along on his organ. Doesn't get much better than that. Now, let's move on to gameplay. For its time, Ocarina's new Z targeting was outstanding. However, comparing it to Breath of the Wild's new open-air genre, Breath wins gameplay with ease. Between bullet time, the paraglider, excellent crafted shrines, and of course being able to go anywhere at any time is still so unreal to me. Now side quests. Ocarina had some interesting ones involving the Gerudo training ground, and most of all the big Goron sword trading quest. Breath of the Wild's eye-opening one for me was definitely Tarrey Town. Bringing all of the races together to help build a town? Job well done, Nintendo. For side quests, I'm gonna have to leave it as a tie. Not bad compared to the others in the series, but not the best either. Majora's Mask holds my spot for the greatest side quests in a Zelda game. So finally, it comes down to dungeons and bosses. Entering the Divine Beasts was really cool, but the beasts themselves weren't the greatest dungeons. In Ocarina, each temple felt unique. Even the dungeon themes matched each temple's vibe. But then again, you could look at the shrines in Breath of the Wild as the meaty puzzle-solving spots. They just did it so differently than usual, it's tough to compare. Bosses aren't even close in my book. Ocarina's bosses were also very unique to one another. That's where I felt Breath lacked. The Blights were too similar other than Thunderblight. He held an awesome battle. One more thing I want to touch on is music. By far, in my opinion, goes the Ocarina. Hyrule Field to Zelda's Lullaby to Ganon's organ, to the Lost Woods to the Forest Temple. The list just goes on and on. But don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild had some amazing tracks, like the Moduga fight, and holy damn, Hyrule Castle theme is one of my favorites in Breath. Shit man, the entire layout of the castle is so well done. I love being able to enter it in any direction. This type of dungeon fits Breath of the Wild's gameplay so well, and I hope they do a similar thing in the DLC. To come to a conclusion, as you can see, I adore both of these games, and I always will. As of now, I would give Ocarina the slightest margin, but who knows my feelings in the future. These two games will be my favorites for quite some time, and if you haven't beaten both of them, I entrust you to fulfill these amazing adventures that any gamer can appreciate. Let me know your favorite Zelda game down below, and by the way, my video ideas as of now are What Happened to the King of Hyrule, which is an Ocarina theory, One Punch Bokoblin Part 2, and a remake of Link's love interest in Breath of the Wild. Not sure when I'll finish editing this video I'm voicing right now, but as of now it's Thursday night, right before the Game Awards. Also, hopefully this weekend I will be live streaming. And well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and don't forget that DLC is coming oh so soon, baby! So stay hyped, my homies. Peace.